To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Ralph Waldo Emerson. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Confucius. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Steve Jobs. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Theodore Roosevelt. Success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt. Everything you can imagine is real. Pablo Picasso. Happiness is not something ready-made, it comes from your own actions. Dalai Lama. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Socrates. Do one thing every day that scares you. Eleanor Roosevelt. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Albert Einstein. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. The power of imagination makes us infinite. John Muir. In 3 words, I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Peter Drucker. Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you. Walt Whitman. A person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. Albert Einstein. Don't watch the clock, do what it does. Keep going. Sam Levinson. The only source of knowledge is experience. Albert Einstein. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Franklin D. Roosevelt. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. There is no way to happiness. Happiness is the way. Thich Nhat Hanh. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Robert Louis Stevenson. The greatest gift of life is friendship, and I have received it. Hubert H. Humphrey. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Roy T. Bennett. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke. It is not in the stars to hold our destiny, but in ourselves. William Shakespeare. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Martin Luther King, Jr. I am not a failure because I have failed. I am a failure because I gave up. John Wooden. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Mahatma Gandhi. Don't wait for opportunities, create them. Anonymous. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Aesop. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Life is a journey, not a destination. Ralph Waldo Emerson. The only thing that stands between a man and what he wants from life is often merely the will to try it and the faith to believe that it is possible. Richard M. DeVos. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Emily Dickinson. Success is how high you bounce when you hit bottom. George S. Patton. Life is like a camera. Focus on the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot. Unknown. Dreams are the seedlings of realities. James Allen. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson. The greatest glory in living lies in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. The best years of your life are the ones in which you decide your problems are your own. You do not blame them on your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. Albert Ellis. You cannot swim for new horizons until you have courage to lose sight of the shore. William Faulkner. Do not let yesterday take up too much of today. Will Rogers. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. The best way to have a good idea is to have lots of ideas. Linus Pauling. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. Eleanor Roosevelt. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Aristotle. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. C.S. Lewis. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. Your only limit is the one you set for yourself. Unknown. Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do. Eric Thomas. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. Eleanor Roosevelt. Be the reason someone smiles today. Unknown. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Alan Watts. Take risks in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you lose, you can guide. Unknown. If you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you'll never have enough. Oprah Winfrey. I never lose. Either I win or I learn. Nelson Mandela. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. Sam Levinson. The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience. Eleanor Roosevelt. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln. Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. Charles R. Swindoll. Happiness is a warm puppy. Charles M. Schultz. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Nelson Mandela. When I stand before God at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left and could say, I used everything you gave me. Erma Bombeck. Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. Christian D. Larson. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Oscar Wilde. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. Robert Kiyosaki. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. Albert Einstein. Life is like a camera. Focus on the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot. Unknown.